Ahoy there. Today on the Red Sea, what is the worst thing you have done to your body thus far in life? I farted in the Dead Sea once. Never again. My asshole felt like it was on fire for the rest of the day. Drank a bottle of tequila with a jar of Clausen's pickle juice. I threw up so hard I dislocated my shoulder. When I first discovered shaking hands with the devil, I was the happiest 11-year-old in the world. I tried many methods available to me. One day, I was wondering what happens when I push my erect penis forward further than usual. It made a snap sound and just went flaccid. I think I was frozen for 10 minutes thinking that I just broke my dick. I still do not know what that means. Anyone knows? I had a wart on my foot. After 2 months with it I got fed up. Went to the garage, grabbed my dad's pliers, pinched, twisted, and ripped it off. As long as you kept the crater from getting infected, I applaud your tenacity and ability to ignore the pain. In high school shop class I blew a line of drywall for $50. They did not pay me. Holy shite. Were you plastered? The first day I learned how to ride a bike, I rode my bike for 12 hours straight, causing my balls to swell up like a couple of tennis balls. Had to wear oversized shirts and no bottoms for a week. Oh, the shame. I got my nipples pierced when I was like 20. It was actually pretty awesome. My girlfriend / now wife liked it. It got me off super quick to mess with them. But one day I was helping a buddy move and I went around a corner while holding a box. The edge of the box slid across my chest and ripped out the left piercing, leaving my nipple just hanging there ripped in half. I glued it back together, but now it does not have a lot of feeling and it never goes soft. Perma though. Yeah, not so cool. Working at a ducking call center. Or all the drinking. Ick now. From working in a ducking call center. Edit. For those asking for the story, over 4 years in an inbound call center for an airline. Prior to that I had some experience with outbound for charity events that later only a week before I could not look myself in the mirror. I have learned many things. Patience. Understanding. Exactly how much scotch it takes to sleep a full night. Most of the time you get trained at call centers in groups or classes. You start at the center together and just watch everyone gain weight. I had 76 tacos from Taco Bell in 3 weeks. Edit. Just to point out, I never had any intention of reaching that number. I had just lost a shite ton of weight and decided to celebrate by smoking a bit, going to TB, and eating 3 tacos. Being on a strict diet for 7 months. I had not had any fast food since I started my regimen. I had forgotten how great those nacho cheese tacos were. It was so good I went back the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and so on and so on. Before I knew it, I was eating 6 to 8 tacos a sitting. The only days I did not go to TB was when I was conducting a porcelain orchestra or evaluating my life decisions. I did not gain a single pound back. That still baffles me more than anything. Drank a moldy Gatorade my friend found behind his couch while I was hammered the other night. Had the most painful day of my life yesterday from food poisoning. Flowing from both ends for like 10 hours straight. At one point I was just wishing death upon myself. The worst part was yesterday was my birthday and I spent it shiting and vomiting. Refused to eat in 7th grade for about a month. It got me out of school but it was not worth it at all. Horrible. Horrible decision. Worked physical labor for years for jobs. I grew up on a farm and grew up pretty bulky and strong without ever trying. My dad worked a lot of his life in various construction industries. So what did I do? I did the same shite. Farming was not too bad. You worked hard, but you did not have to overwork yourself. Cue minimum wage $10 an hour physical jobs. They work you like a dog day in day out. I worked for multiple people. 4/5 are assholes that abuse their workers' health for their profit. I got out of the worst of those jobs in time, but I still have the aches and pains from being overworked and their subsequent injuries that were not allowed to heal properly. Every time I interview somewhere that requires heavy lifting I feel like a liar saying I'm in 100% health. I will never be 100% again. A few types of lifts causes my right shoulder to completely collapse and dislocate. I have a bad hip because you cannot take off a month during the busy season to heal an injury without being fired. Not like they provided health insurance anyways. Someday I hope to sit in a chair all day and just program shite. But getting to a competent programming level is difficult. After coming home each day worked like a dog. Should have went to school for programming while I still had my health. Now I have not the money nor credit to afford school. Then I could be like all the other assholes sitting on Reddit claiming being poor is easy to get out of if you just work hard. I do hard work. Alls it leads to is more hard work. Shite wages lead to shite wages. Injuries lead to more injuries. Aches and pains leads to more aches and pains. It feels terrible trying to act like a young, strong and healthy male every day without medical programs, so you do not get fired when what you really are is a torn up, abused and used poor laborer who cannot afford to go to the doctor for a routine checkup. I got really sick once. Constantly throwing up. Could not keep water down. I do not know why, but after the 4th or 5th hour of constant vomiting, my internal hedonism bot activated, and I thought to myself, if I'm just gonna throw everything I eat up, I'm just gonna eat everything with no consequences. And so I did. I cleaned out my refrigerator, ate several frozen meals, half a case of ramen noodles, a triple scoop custard waffle cone, a whole big bag of potato chips, a 2-liter bottle of Sprite, and a chocolate bunny from Easter. I threw every ounce of that shite up, and while it may have been horribly wasteful and completely counterproductive, I still cannot help but smile when I think of that day. In college, a girl I was with liked to be titty ducked. Needless to say, I liked it as well. We usually use lotion to cut down the friction, but one drunken night we were out of lotion, so we decided to use shampoo. It worked pretty much exactly how the lotion did. I finished and we both passed out after wiping up the excess fluids. However, I left a layer of shampoo on my dick. Because shampoo is slightly acidic, the next day my junk was burning. Over the course of a few days my dick began to crack and peel. It was like my penis was a snake. And it was molting season. I was bleeding and peeling dead skin off of my shaft for days. It took over a week to heal. Needless to say, I never did that again. When I was like 10 I stuck my dick in this like sour juice drink and my cock swelled up to duck. Ugh. Long story here. Oh god. Well, see if this comment sees the light of day. Here it goes. A Mormon guy once told me that in seminary he and his missionary buddies thought it was funny to go to the janitor closet and take the hose, put it on a trickle, and put it to your butthole and fill your intestines with water. He said you could then hold all that water and go blast it at something. What the duck, right? So I was telling a friend what this guy told me, and my friend was like, dude, you should do it. So I stupidly agreed. We go outside, grab the hose, I put it to my butt. My buddy then proceeds to crank the water really hard. I did not account for all the air that was in the hose, so my guts filled with air, then a whole ton of water. This all happened in like 1.5 seconds. I screamed and dropped the hose. I fell down on all fours still yelling. I felt like I was going to explode. Then it happened. I pulled my pants back down and exploded shite all over his dick. But I still felt sick for like an hour. I hated my friend for a good hour after that. He still calls me hose, but from time to time. Ugh. I have these 3 skin bridges on the shaft of my wang. About halfway up. I'm pretty sure they're a result of 3 stitches I had when I was circumcised. I'm not positive. But either way, there. They are basically little stretches of skin that go over a tiny gap of skin. Feel like really short surface piercings. Well, when I was 17, I was laying in bed with my at the time girlfriend and telling her about them. She's totally fascinated. She asks if I can put stuff through them. Yeah, I mean, when I first realized they were there, of course I did. Just a safety pin and a thumbtack. Stuff like that. Can you put a barbell in them? I have never tried, but I'm sure I could. So we do. 1 barbell in each one. You can maybe see where this is going. She wants to have smash with them in. Thinking it'll be like a ribbed condom. But way better. Sure. Why I not? What could go wrong? I was a ducking idiot. I think it lasted 3 thrusts before it started to hurt considerably. Then worse. The duck shite duck. Get me out of you. Kind of pain. She is flipping out. Naturally. But not as much as me when I pull out, and it looks like she's been saving up her period all year and just let it all out now. But of course it's not coming from her. It's coming from 3 pieces of skin ripped of the middle of the shaft of my dick where the skin bridges were. It turned out to be not so bad. Really, it just bled a ridiculous amount. She bandaged up my now wilting cock as best she could. No permanent damage besides 3 scars. Thank God. I decided that if I ever needed to rip off my shirt while saving someone, I wanted to look like a total badass doing so. My brother had a heavy metal skull pendant made of pewter or some shite that I thought would do the trick. So I decided to super glue it to my chest. This in and of itself would not have been that bad. However, I also decided to use an accelerant to speed up the glue curing process. Who wants to sit around and wait for their shiny new metal skull to dry onto their chest? No one. Anyhow, turns out that the accelerant and superglue mixture creates a chemical reaction that melts skin. Some of the worst physical pain I have ever experienced in such a localized area. I wore it through the night and to work the next day, but when it still was throbbing I decided I should probably take it off. I took a shower and tore it off, along with about 4 square inches of my skin. I had a really horrible scar, really thick and so dark red it's almost purple in some areas. I have had it injected a bunch of times by a dermatologist, and while you can still see it, it's not nearly as noticeable as it used to be. The first time I ever drank alcohol, I had no idea how it really worked, or the differences between a shot of hard liquor and a beer. I poured myself an entire solo cup of raspberry Smirnoff. The first sip tasted bad and burned, but I thought that was just how it was supposed to taste. I thought that's why everyone chugged their drinks that did not want to taste them. So I attempted to chug the entire cup of raspberry vodka. I even ended up throwing up a little bit in my mouth, but I swallowed the vomit because I did not want this boy that I had a crush to think I was a little wuss. I poured a second cup as quickly as I could because I just wanted to it over with. I was told you need to drink 2 drinks to actually feel anything. I try this one and it's much harder and I'm gauging, but I get a few gulps of it down. Then it happens. I start to feel this awful pain in my stomach, and before I know it, I'm projectile vomiting across the room. Vomit is everywhere. I'm a mess. Luckily I was the only one in the kitchen at the time, because everyone migrated into the living room and the side yard. But I was also too drunk to do anything rational, so I take off my sweater and tights, and tried to wipe everything up, and pour myself another drink. I tried to go outside, and hang out with all my friends. I blacked out for the rest of the entire night and I fell asleep on my friend's trampoline. I woke up and I felt like I was going to die. It did not help that I had to walk nearly a mile home and then pretend to be cheery and well rested. Because my parents had thought I was at a sleepover all night, I continued to puke all day in my room and the next day as well. I convinced my parents that I had caught a stomach bug that my friend's 8-year-old brother had. Even the scent of raspberry vodka makes me dry heave and tingle all over. I could not even smell hand sanitizer for a while. If you are reading this, you watched until the end of the video. Smash that like button if you have enjoyed it. Bam. On screen there should be some more videos similar to this. So either go do something else, or watch more videos. That's about it. There is no more here. What are you waiting for, a secret message or something? This is not a secret, but subscribe for more videos like this.